Hello and welcome along to this funding opportunity for land at Jubilee Gardens, Westbury in Shropshire, SY5 9EQ. Now this is a project that we saw towards the end of November 2018 when we did the Phase 1 raise, and we're talking here on this webinar about the Phase 2 raise. So CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. That's under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project to manage it for the lenders. So this project is land situated on the south side of Westbury Village, about 9 miles west of Shrewsbury in Shropshire. The land was a cleared greenfield site of around about 1 acre. 4 separate planning consents were granted, with reference numbers 16/02448, 16/02449, 16/02450 and 16/02451. That's to cover construction of the 4 separate units. The borrower has commenced works and is on programme. CrowdProperty agreed to lend the borrower £750,000 in 2 raises. Raise 1 was for £350,000. That completed in December 2018. Phase 1 monies have been submitted to the borrower to assist in the purchase of the land and pay towards the initial works. With the construction works commenced, the second raise of £400,000 is now being sought to provide further previously agreed monies to continue the build elements of this project. The site purchase price and verified by RICS was for £400,000, and RICS have estimated the gross development value of the completed development of these 4 bungalows to be £1.42 million. This raise is to cover the remaining £400,000. The 18 months maximum loan agreement was completed on the 12th of December 2018, so the Phase 2 raise will begin shortly and will be for approximately 16 months as a maximum loan term. And remember, CrowdProperty hold a first charge security on the land. The former greenfield site is situated on the south side of the village of Westbury. The village serves as a commuter village to the Shrewsbury town, which is about 8 miles to the east via the B4386. The M54 and the A5, with its connections to the UK motorway network, is about 10 miles away. Progress on site means the developer is now out of the ground and on with construction of the superstructure. 4 separate planning consents have been granted by Shropshire Metropolitan Borough Council. The development of the 4 detached bungalows, providing 3 with 3 bedrooms and the 4th with 4 bedrooms in a cul-de-sac setting, and the construction is of timber frame with both brick and render external under pitched tiled roofs. The developer is building out to sell. The loan commenced in December, and Phase 2 raise will run for 16 months approximately as a maximum term. First charge security being offered. So here's the location map then. You can see here Shrewsbury just here with the A49, A458, big town here, capital of Shropshire, county town of that, and then coming out the 458 or down this B road here takes you to Westbury, and that's where the CrowdProperty property is. There's a map there of Westbury, and that's pointing to where the site is in the village of Westbury. The site is situated 8 miles west of Shrewsbury, close to the Welsh border. The population is 1,352 according to the 2011 census. Road connections to Shrewsbury is via that B4386. Amenities locally include a primary school, there's a post office, medical practice and the Lion Public House, and there's also St Mary's Church. The school has a pupil size of around about 40, which is only 50% capacity, and so Shropshire are going to merge 3 local schools, including Westbury, and they will all become one school. It's not clear if this school in Westbury is going to close. Residents are, in the main, commuters into Shrewsbury. So here's the proposed site plan then, off the main road here, coming in to the properties. You've got bungalow number 1 here, bungalow number 2, bungalow number 3 and bungalow number 4, served by this service road here coming off of the main road. Here are drawings of the properties, plots 1 and plots 2, showing there with the elevations, the northwest, the northeast, the southeast and the southwest coming in. Very similar projects here. These have got 3 bedrooms on them, with living rooms and kitchen diners as well. There's also ensuite to the main bedroom there as well, and utility areas. So both of those very, very similar. Plots 3 and 4 are shown there, with plot 3 being slightly different. That's got a garage as part of the project and a slightly different layout if you look. But plot 4 certainly similar to plots 1 and 2. And again, the elevations are shown on there: northwest, northeast, southeast and southwest elevations. That's how it's looking. The size of the units, well, unit 1 and 2 are both 118 square metres, that's 1,270 square feet. Unit 3 is 150 square metres, and unit 4 is 140 square metres. The total gross internal area of the floor is 526 square metres, which is 5,770 square feet, and the total site area is approximately 1 acre. So here's the weekly site activity since they started on site on November the 26th, 2018. So week 1, you can see there, that is the local archaeologist looking for Roman remains. They didn't find any on there. Week 2, you can see it's sort of pegged out here with the drawings. Week 3, the footings are coming in and then out of the ground. Week 5, they got up then to the roof level, and then certainly putting the tiles on in week 6. So things progressing well over the first 6 weeks of this particular project. It's a timber frame that arrived in the first week of January, so that's being put up as well on the project, of course, along with bricks, as you can see there, and there'll be render as well finished on the outside of it. There's more photos there. These were taken on the 17th of January 2019. Plot 2 roof is now tiled, as you can see there, on the left hand side of your photo. You see internal studs going up as well on those photos. So the work on site then and the progress versus the programme. The independent monitoring surveyor's inspection was done on the 7th of January 2019, and the site hoardings and the welfare facilities are in place. Excavations and foundation works complete on plot 2 with timber frame construction. Excavations and substructure blockwork complete to plot 3. The drainage has been installed at ground level out from underneath plots 2 and 3. The superstructure masonry has commenced. Trussed rafters installed to plot 2. Plots 1 and 4 have been set out. Overall appearance and quality of the workmanship is acceptable. The construction programme is ahead on plots 2 and 3, and 1 week behind on plots 3 and 4. CrowdProperty believe the programme will catch up on plots 3 and 4 as that construction progresses. The expected date for completion of all the works is June 2019. All pre-commencement planning conditions are now discharged. The initial building control notice has been issued to the approved inspector at Shropshire Local Borough Council. The homeowners' warranties are in place with the LABC, that's the Local Authority Building Control. The site complies with legal construction health and safety plan, and the developer has commenced soft marketing campaign to sell the bungalows. So the RICS valuation of the land with the planning consent is £400,000, pre-commencement of any works. The estimated new build cost of the 4 bungalows is £800,000, including all fees. The total gross development value is £1.42 million, verified by RICS, with the first phase raise being £350,000. That's now been spent. So we're on this webinar looking for the second phase raise, which is the further £400,000. The initial loan to value was 70%, and the loan, including the interest to gross development value at the end of the loan, is 60.7%. The exit strategy is to sell into the market. So the total loan facility contracted at £750,000. Phase 1 raise was 350. So Phase 2 raise being sought on this webinar is for the balance of £400,000. The initial loan to value being 70%, reducing down to 60.7% when you include the rolled up interest at completion of the works. The loan is secured with a first charge against the property, paying 8% per annum interest to lenders on this project, the interest paid at the end of the project. The loan agreement for the period of 18 months began on the 12th of December 2018. This Phase 2 loan term will be for around about 16 months maximum to coincide with the loan agreement. The Phase 2 monies commenced earning interest around about the 12th of February 2019, and the capital plus the interest will be repaid from the sale of the 4 completed residential units. So here's the borrower, Richard Cambry, a qualified chartered surveyor back in 1992. He graduated from the Royal Agricultural College in 1989. Richard has a proven track record in site assembly, planning and project delivery over the last 20 years. The Westbury project is to be delivered through Newgate Properties Limited, which is a joint venture vehicle with Malcolm Davis, who provides the build through his family construction company. Richard and Malcolm have worked together over the last 16 years on a variety of projects in and around Shrewsbury, dovetailing their skill set to deliver good quality homes to the local market. The project consultants, well, the architects are AIP Architectural. They're based in Upton Magna near Shrewsbury. They're the lead designer and contract administrator. The structural engineer is Lewis Howdle, consultant structural engineers. The drainage consultants are Woodside Developments Limited, and the contractor is ML Developments. The building contract was signed on the 30th of November 2018. Here are some recent projects that the developer has done. The Anchorage in Shrewsbury. They bought a site which had a failed public house on it and the grounds, about a quarter of a mile from Shrewsbury town centre. They first of all used it as a pay and display car park whilst they got the residential scheme together. It's about 17,000 square feet, and they had 12 units approved on it, gained planning permission, no social housing allocation nor any Section 106 contribution. They built and sold all of those units. Plough Meadow in Lentwardine in Herefordshire. They bought the land in Lentwardine. They achieved planning permission for 10 units, which was 6 houses and 4 bungalows, and the development was built out with joint venture partner, and all of those units are sold. Also in Pontisbury, they purchased this 2-acre site in 2016. It already had outline planning consent. Reserved matters consent was secured. An 18-unit scheme of 3 to 5 bed houses. The Pontisbury, by the way, 8 miles south of Shrewsbury. They commence on site Q1 2019, and the exit strategy here again is to sell the properties. So CrowdProperty believes in responsible lending and borrowing. The amount of this loan is based on the project and experience of the developers. The total agreed facility is £750,000, which was agreed to be raised in 2 phases. The first phase raise was for £350,000, so this second phase raise is £400,000, expected to commence on the 12th of February 2019. Day 1 release was £280,000 set against the land, and residue of phase 1 raise has been spent on initial construction. The further development finance is being sought to complete the development. The initial loan to value was 70% of the property's purchase price, verified by RICS, and is expected to reduce to 60.7% at completion of the works. CrowdProperty has the first charge on the land to protect lenders in the event of a default. The remaining funds will be drawn on independent monitoring surveyor's verification, and the RICS view of the gross development value is £1.42 million based on a sell price of £355,000 per bungalow. The loan term is a maximum of 18 months, but phase 2 lenders, the term there will be approximately 16 months, and the developer is building out to sell at the end of the project. So the next steps then, please, are to make sure that you understand this loan, carry out your own due diligence on the project and the developers, and then decide how much you would like to lend. The CrowdProperty website is the place to be at launch. That is Tuesday the 29th of January. It goes live at 10 o'clock in the morning. You will be able to preview it before this time, but at 10 o'clock the system automatically goes live to take pledges against this particular project. And then CrowdProperty will conduct the necessary anti-money laundering checks on people wanting to invest in this project. And then you'll be invited to send your funds through to your very own online e-wallet, and you'll start earning interest on completion of the loan agreement. So thank you for watching this webinar. This is for land at Jubilee Gardens. This is the second phase raise, wanting to raise £400,000, and this goes live at 10 AM on Tuesday the 29th of January. Thank you for joining us on this CrowdProperty Funding Opportunity webinar. My name is Andy Haynes. I look forward to you joining us again too soon on another CrowdProperty Funding Opportunity. In the meantime, bye for now.